Norristown Area School District is proud to present Norristown High School football. Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, good morning, depending on when you take a look at this tape-delayed broadcast. My name is Eddie Morgan. Welcome all of you here to Roosevelt Field in Norristown, where the Norristown Eagles will take on the Pennsbury Falcons. My normal partner here, ladies and gentlemen, is Alan Raleigh. Unfortunately, Alan is a little bit under the weather, so I'll be taking care of the play-by-play duties, and the color commentary tonight will be Ben Walters. Okay, we got Ben's name there. It's Norristown against Pennsbury, the first game for both teams for the conference play, Suburban 1 Northern Conference play. Pennsbury so far is 2-1. They beat PW last week 27-7. Norristown got a squeaker last week 20-15 against Wilson High School from Reading. Should be a very interesting game. It is very, very cold outside, and it's very wet, and the team that can get their ground game going, the quickest will be the winner tonight. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this. Welcome back to Roosevelt Field here in Norristown. It's Norristown Eagle football. Game is the league opener for both squads. Pennsbury Falcons, their record so far against non-league opponents is 2-1. Norristown is undefeated at 3-0. Pennsbury is going to kick it off right now. Buda Suber is back deep, but it's going to be taken by one of the up men. That's John Cabot. Cabot will get to the 30-yard line, and that'll be about it. The tackle made by number 66, Ed Guskowski. 5'11", 176-pound senior for Pennsbury. Well, offense right now for the Norristown Eagles. The quarterback, Matt Weber. The backfield is a familiar one. Wayne Denson, number 2. Carmen Bello, number 6. The offensive line goes like this. Roland Carbone, Chris Augustine are the left guard and tackle, as Bello carries the ball, and he'll get a couple to the 32. Andy Ward is the center, number 58. Greg Chavou, the right guard, number 55. Joe Trump, number 73. Lou Simpson's the tight end, number 89. And the split end, Dave Elsier, and the wingback, Suber, Royce Buda Suber. He's coming off the field right now. My partner tonight is
Ben Walters Jr.
Ben Walters Jr. And Ben, we have some substitutes. We'll get to that after the play. As Weber pitches left to Denson. Denson trying to cut upfield, and he does, across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. That'll set up a third down. Let's make it a long 2. And Ben, there are some substitutions for that offensive squad for Norristown.
Yes, it is. Dave Elsier is out this evening with thigh contusions, and also Greg Chavou.
And for Norristown.
Yeah, we can see that, well, that is Greg's usual position over there, but next to Andy Ward, the center. And at that side, had the opportunity to get through.
We'll have to take a look at that situation as it develops. The punt will be by John Cabot, and it is a nice one. Taken at the 40-yard line by Pennsbury, and ridden out of bounds is number 21, Brooks Estat. Estat took the ball, and a tackle was made by Jaquise Rochette for Norristown. So it'll be Pennsbury, the Pennsbury Falcons. First down and 10. The ball will be marked just short of midfield. Call it the 49-yard line of Pennsbury. Bo Kirkhead, 6'4", 204-pound senior, is the quarterback for Pennsbury, and they run a split T offense with the 3 backs in the backfield, and we'll get to those backs in a minute. Flags fly, whistle blows, and we'll see how it goes here. Number 41, Bob Reichert, number 30, Tom Hose, and number 33, Rich. All 3 of them are the backs in the split T formation of Pennsbury. The initial call is offsides, defensive offsides against Norristown. That'll add 5 yards to Pennsbury. Push them into Norristown territory. They'll mark it at the 46. First down will be replayed, and it'll be 1st and 5 for the Pennsbury Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons are a running team with the ability to throw the ball long. Last week, Bo had connected with Riker for a pass of 1 for 41 yards.
Okay, they are a great offense, but they can put it in the air and hurt you deep. Norristown will have to worry about that. The handoff, second man through, is number 41, Bob Reichert. He goes over left tackle to the 43-yard line of Norristown. That'll set up a 2nd down and 3 for Pennsbury.
He was brought down by Bill Bill Angelucci.
Bill Angelucci, number 78, 6'2", 190-pound junior, is taking over for Greg Chavou. Pennsbury now with the ball. Inside handoff, and it's going to be a first down or close to it, depending on where they mark it. And it is a first down, and that carry was by number 33, Rich Wilson, one of the 3 backs in that split T backfield for Pennsbury. The Norristown defense goes like this. Roland Carbone, Rich Mittis Augustine, Bill Angelucci is in there for Greg Chavou, and Theron Ellis is up front in the defense. The linebackers are Del Chavou, and we'll get to the rest of the defense at the end of this play. An option here run by Reichert, the quarterback, or excuse me, Bo Burkhead, the quarterback, number 11. He was ridden out of bounds, and it'll be no gain. And we have a 5-yard loss, as a matter of fact. 3-yard loss, excuse me. It'll be second down and 13.
Looks like 79. Reinhardt is in there, but it doesn't look like it'd be him. It was an equipment change or something like that. Because he popped off the line early, but he got back before the refs could see it.
Okay, second down and long, 13 yards to go. The back shift to an I formation. The handoff, second back through is number 30, Tom Hose. Hose had a big game against Plymouth Whitemarsh last week, gaining close to 130 yards on the ground as Pennsbury beat up on PW 27-7, and actually it was a close game. It was 7-7 at halftime. But Reese Whitley's boys from PW could not keep up with Pennsbury, and the Falcons won their second game of the season. Their record so far in non-league competition, 2-1. Norristown, of course, undefeated at 3-0. Both these teams starting their Suburban 1 Northern Division schedule tonight. Norristown against Pennsbury at Roosevelt Field. It's third down and 11 now for Pennsbury. Whistle blows. There was some movement on both sides.
Yeah, it's slippery out there. That's one thing with these grass fields. They all constantly changing. Offsides against Norristown. That'll back them up another 5.
Second offsides call on Norristown tonight on the defense. And that's 10 extra yards that the offense does not have to travel, and that surely helps. That'll cut it to third down and 6. And Dave Elsier is in there, number 86 at linebacker. He had that thigh problem in the middle of the week, had to go to Temple University Hospital for on that deep bruised thigh, but he's in there at right linebacker. The backs are Jones, Waldrop, Rochette, and John Cabot, who was our star of the game last week in the win against Wilson. Second man through is nice run by Tommy Hose. And he just might have the first down wherever they mark the ball, Ben.
That's right. This is the way we started off last week, if you remember. Who did we play last week?
We played Wilson, Ben. Try to keep it within the game, Ben. You're doing a good job.
Okay, we played Wilson last week, and they had a pretty commanding drive going on, and they fumbled. Then that turned the team around.
It also happened, and it's a first down, as you can see. The referee saying it's first down. And it started the same way against PW the week before that. Both teams, Wilson and Plymouth Whitemarsh, the past 2 opponents for Norristown, have gotten their first possession and traveled down the field deep into Norristown territory, only to either fumble or throw. Norristown capitalized both times on the turnovers to score their first touchdown of the game. Let's see how it goes here. Third man through and there's a fumble. And who got the ball? Third man through was number 30, Tom Hose. Hose hung on to the ball, excuse me. I thought I saw the ball dangling on the field there, but I was wrong. It'll be second down and 5 yards to go. And taking a look at that defensive front, a 5-2 alignment for Norristown. Chris Augustine, the senior, 205-pound, anchors that defensive line. He's the middle guard. And Burkhead, the quarterback, number 11, on the triple option, took the ball, and he was bumped out of bounds by number 22, Dwayne Jones, and he did not gain a yard. He may have lost a couple.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Norristown is a team that's run by motivation, and Greg Chavou and Chavu, who are brothers, really pump up the team and make them go. With Greg,
Defensive play. Can't see who made that defensive play there.
that was Delbert Chavu.
Del Chavu, we just talked about him. The runner was Richie Wilson for Pennsbury, and that's going to set a 4th down play. And I don't even think there's going to be a discussion here. Ben, they're going to go for it on 4th down here. 4th down and 4 yards to go. Deep in Norristown territory, the ball is marked at the 21-yard line. The quarterback, Bo Burkhead, the big guy, 6'4", 204-pound senior, is running that triple option, that veer type of offense. It is not quite, and they don't line up in that alignment. It's power eye right now for Pennsbury. 4th and 4, and Burkhead's going to keep it going down around right side, and a great defensive play. And there's a flag, a late flag, but Jaquise Frechette, the left defensive halfback, made a great play on that keeper by Burkhead. And Norristown is going to get control of the football. And Ben, I called there was a flag down, but I believe I was mistaken. But the officials now are calling it a timeout. And they're discussing it now with Norristown. There you see Burkhead, number 11 there for Pennsbury, talking it over with the officials. Del Chavu is also there. And they're going to mark. And he did not get the 1st down. It was close enough to measure, and that was what the timeout was called for.
That's a good defensive stop by Norristown. That'll get them pumped, ready to get back in there to tear it off heads for the next time they're going.
Jaquise Frechette made a great defensive play, the left defensive back.
Norristown's one that lives on the rule that the best offense is a good defense.
Or the best defense is a good offense. Doesn't really matter. Matt Weaver's a quarterback for Norristown here. The backs are in the eye. Denson is behind Bello. The quick handoff is to Carmen, and he bowls his way across the 20-yard line, across the 15 to the 18-yard line.
These wet, slippery nights are like this. Is Carmen Bello's game. All last year when Norristown needed lots of yardage, they put him in, and he got it when the slippery field because he's the kind of runner that keeps chugging right along.
Carmen Bello, 5'11", 210-pound fullback for Norristown High School, the Eagles. Alcier is in motion right. The head tackle is to Denson. Look at him. Wayne Denson keeps on his feet, but he gets pounded down. Everybody was there. Number 15, John Tabeek for Pennsbury. Also, number 61 was Jeff Zelt. Whatever happened to Smith and Jones on this team? Every guy I've had to pronounce has been a tough one. But that's high school football. Pennsbury Falcons against Norristown High School. Being brought to you by the Norristown Area School District and their Access Channel. Now, hands the ball off on a draw play to Denson. If he goes around the corner, he can break it. Tries to cut, but he is tackled by number 13 was Dave Kitcherman. Made the tackle, and Denson almost broke that. Ben, if he got around that right corner, looks like his knee, or his ankle, still might be bothering him. He had a bruised right ankle the past 2 weeks. They said he was 100% last week. He wasn't. They say he's 100% tonight, and we'll have to see. He did not look like he had a whole lot of speed around that right end, but he tried to make a cut, and of course the wet turf had something to do with not making more yardage on that one. Here he comes back again, this time left side, and he gets hit low, and a nice hit put on him by number 10, Bart Sarsko. Nice low hit, and he was helped by number 15, again, John Tabeek.
Here's Roosh Border-Suber coming in with another play. Maybe they'll throw an option to him or do something else, because I think they're keying on Denson tonight. You know, he's like the star of the team, so everybody say key on Denson. You can see the crowd going off as soon as they get a tackle.
Second down and 9 for Norristown, and there's Border-Suber. Ben Walters called it on a nice play and a great run. Number 13 was Dave Kitcherman on the tackle, and Border-Suber on that quick trap, that wingback play up the middle, and a nice play by Border-Suber, and he almost broke it. but Kitcheman made a nice tackle for Pennsbury. And Ben, you called it. Suber came in with the play, and he called his own number, and it was a nice little run there for Norristown. First down and 10 near midfield. The ball's marked on the 48-yard line. Alcier in motion. Hands the ball off to Denson inside. Wayne goes over the top across the 50-yard line. Dives for 3 to the 47. It'll be a gain of 4 yards. We'll call it second down and 6.
We can see that, as you mentioned before, that Denson might not be 100%. It looked like that on that play because he didn't give it his all. He didn't really plant down, then jump. He just put a little half-hearted jump in there.
All right, it is second down and 6 yards to go. Norristown with the ball inside Pennsbury territory at the yard line. They're going to mark it. Weber rolling to the right, and he's going to throw. Lops it up for Denson, who almost made a great one-handed catch out on the right flat, but could not hold on. And covering him was Bart Sarko, the left defensive back for Pennsbury, and it's going to set up another third down situation for Norristown with third down and 6.
And in the backfield, the defense got in and gave Matt Weber a nice pop there, so he'll know next time when he throws. Here we go. Weber back to pass.
Okay, Matt Weber, and the pass is intercepted, but there's a flag. And what are they going to call? Number 51 was 51 Chip Chimera. Made the interception, the linebacker. But let's see what the call is going to be. And the pass, it was offensive interference against Norristown. The call, of course, will be declined. And Matt Weber threw an interception. It was a nice play by Chip Chimera, the left linebacker for Pennsbury. Made a diving interception. And Norristown is hit with their first INT of the early season. And let's see if Pennsbury can move the ball like they did in their first drive. The ball's marked on their 44-yard line. First down and 10. The handoff, first man through. And that is as they unpile. Number 33, Rich Wilson. Wilson's a 5'10", 172-pound senior for the Falcons. And they will have the ball at their own 47-yard line with just 36 seconds to go in a fast-paced first quarter. Still 0-0, and it's second down and 7. Power eye left. Handoff is to Hose, and Hose trying to get around left side, breaking all sorts of tackles, but Roland made the first hit, and a whole host of Norristown teammates came over to help Roland out. Gang tackling on defense is what you like to see, especially on a slippery field tonight. Norristown with a good defensive penetration and great hustle on that play. It was a loss of 1 yard. It'll be third down and 8. A passing situation for Pennsbury and their quarterback, Bo Burkhead. And that is the end of the first quarter. And at the end of the first quarter, the Norristown Eagles 0, the Pennsbury Falcons 0. And we'll be going to the second quarter action as the officials have, of course, the in-between quarter officials timeout. The Pennsbury Falcons going right to left on your screen. Norristown Eagles going left to right. The Norristown High School cheerleaders leading on the sparse crowd tonight. But as you can understand, it is rainy, wet, soggy, fall night. It's football weather, but sometimes you have to be a dedicated fan to sit through it. But when you're watching the Norristown Eagles, it really helps. Third down and 8 for Pennsbury. Burkhead straight back to throw, puts it up. The ball is almost intercepted by Jaquise Frechette, and then almost caught by number 82. That is Dan Cassidy.
That was good defensive effort there by Jaquise Frechette. If he could have held on, it might have been TD time.
Looked also like Cassidy, the split end, might have pushed off on Frechette trying to get open. But there were no flags, and it's fourth down. And Pennsbury is about to punt. Number 53 is Darrell Moyle, who is the punter. Moyle takes about 18,000 steps to punt the ball. End over end, the ball is taken by Cabot. And John Cabot's got that left side if he can get out there, but he cannot break the tackle of number 52, Tom Hovenmeyer. And Cabot is brought down at approximately the 25-yard line for Norristown. John Cabot, they had the return set up at the top of your screen, return left. And if Cabot broke a couple of tackles, and if he could have gotten to the sideline, he would have been off and running. Of course, John Cabot had a great game against Wilson last week. Make fell on the ball, and Bello running off the field saying, "I just never had it, Coach Roger Grove. I just never had it in my gut."
And Bell being one of the better hands on the team, you wouldn't even expect that of him. He must have didn't have it, what he was trying to say.
Wet field and wet conditions, of course, will do that. Make the ball very slippery, of course. Pennsbury with a great chance here to put the ball up, and they do. It's a screen pass and a great defensive play by Roland Carbone, the defensive end. The pass went out to number 33, Rich Wilson. It was a screen pass right to the top of your screen. And Roland Carbone from his left defensive end position just made a great play, read the play perfectly, and made a very, very nice open field tackle on the play to bring down Rich Wilson. It is a loss of 5 yards back to the 42-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 15 yards to go for Pennsbury. Let's see if they can capitalize on the fumble down. The handoff is to Tommy Hose, number 30, the halfback. He gets to the original line of scrimmage, which is the 37-yard line. Excuse me, he gets to the 36. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Hose is another one of those get out to the outside and go kind of runners, similar to Denson, and he's going to be running after Norristown all night here. So they're going to be able to, they should key on him.
Strength against strength. Pennsbury's a running team. Norristown is a running team. And it's who can slip here in the wet conditions of Roosevelt Field. The ball is handed off, and a great defensive play. The ball was handed off to number 41, Bob Reichert, the fullback. And that right side of the defensive line for Norristown. And also Dave Elsier, the right linebacker, did a great job of stopping that up. And it's going to be 4th down and 6 yards to go. And again, there is no discussion on the part of Pennsbury. They are a 4-down team. They do not like to punt. And it was obvious when their punter, Moyle, came into the ball game that the punting game, the kicking game in general, is not a strong point of the Pennsbury Falcons.
It looked like they're going to pass on this. They just brought in 2 split ends to go out for it, number 41 and number 82, and get their names in a minute.
The official stopped play, and Pennsbury took too much time. The play came in from the sideline, and for whatever reason, Bo Burkhead, the quarterback, took time. You have 25 seconds in high school to get the play off, and there's no clocks on the field, so you really have to go by your own instinct on that one. Burkhead took too much time, the quarterback of Pennsbury, and that's going to set up a much longer 4th down situation. And so now Pennsbury will punt the ball. Back again is number 53, Darrell Moyle. And we're going to take a look at this unique punting style of Mr. Moyle. He gets the ball off. It's a much better punt this time. And they're going to let it bounce, and it goes into the end zone. A nice try by number 82, Dan Cassidy, to try to down the ball inside the 5-yard line. Slipped, fell, could not get a handle of the ball. Mark that punt a 41-yard punt. So Moyle does his job as the punter. And it'll be Norristown's ball, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. That is the most easiest spot I've had to make all evening long, because you know it's going to be at the 20-yard line. Norristown Eagles have the ball. Suber, wing back right. Edwards is out to the left side. It's going to be off tackle Denson. And forget that off tackle stuff. He's going outside. Whole host of people bring him down. And they're going to call a late flag. There is a late flag. And there you see it right there. And it was on Wayne Denson. You saw it right there. Denson throwing the ball at number 21, Brooks Estat. Estat was one of the 3 guys who brought him down. And they called the personal foul, unnecessary roughness. There it is on number 2 on the offense, and that's going to hurt. It'll be half the distance. It'll put him to the 10-yard line.
Well, Denson really must be favoring something because he's not the kind of person who gets upset on any push-out kind of play. It must have been something more than what we can see from up here that happened.
It also could be the fact that Wayne Denson has been feeling the effects of a badly bruised right ankle, and he does not seem to appear to have the running style that we have seen in the past. And there is the 10-yard penalty marked at the 10-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 20 yards to go for Norristown, and they will have to dig themselves out of this hole that Wayne Denson has put them in.
But Denson's the kind of now he has to do is keep calm, concentrate on the game, and get all the yards that he lost back. And then not one shot. He has the power to do it, but should just keep in some mind, trying to concentrate on what he's doing. Here we go.
Okay. Matt Weber is the quarterback. The backs are split behind Weber. Alcier's in motion to the bottom of your screen. Weber rolling to the left side. Puts the ball in a whole host of traffic there. It was intended to Lou Simpson, the tight end. A couple people got their hands up there, but mostly it was number 13, Dave Kitcheman, who knocked the ball away. And it'll be set up a 3rd down and 20 situation for Norristown. And so far, starting off this game as they started off last game against Wilson, and that is very flat on offense. And Wayne Denson has not showed us what he has showed us in the past. And Norristown Eagles are in a hole, 3rd down and 20. They've been in a hole for much of the first quarter and much of the game. Draw play to Denson, and it is clogged up there in the middle of the line, mostly number 67, Eric Renfers. Middle guard, 6 foot, 200-pound junior. And Wayne Denson and the rest of the Norristown Eagles dejectedly walked off the field as it'll set down a 4th down punting situation. And let's see if Pennsbury goes after him. They have 9 guys up on the line. Johnny Cabot has plenty of time, and he boots it out there. The ball is caught by number 20, Brian Hickman. Hickman is hit and brought down, but he gets inside the 30-yard line. They'll mark it at about the 30-yard line. Augustine was there, as well as Richette and Roland Carbone. And number 81, Vance Fisher, also in on the tackle. So Pennsbury again will have the ball with 7 minutes and 53 seconds to go in the first half. The score is 0-0. I'm Eddie Morgan along with Ben Walters. Here, Norristown Area School District Access Channel Football, Norristown Eagle Football against the Pennsbury Falcons. Second man through was Ham Hose, and he was just belted there. Again, a good tackle by Del Chavou.
We have a flag in the backfield.
And when you see the flag in the backfield, it usually means illegal procedure of some sort. And they are talking to Norristown right now, the officials. The 5-yard penalty puts the ball at the 37-yard, and that's what it was, an illegal formation penalty against Pennsbury. Bo Burkhead, number 11, is the quarterback for Pennsbury, and when he talks, your teammates listen, and that happens when you're 6'4" and 205 pounds. Burkhead now off tackle left side, and Theron Ellis, along with a couple of his teammates down, number 33, Rich Wilson. They will mark it at the it'll be at the 33-yard line, getting back a couple of yards that they lost on the illegal formation penalty. It'll set up a second down and 12 yards to go for Pennsbury. And I tried to make the point earlier that Pennsbury has been in the Norristown end of the field for most of the first half here. Let's see if they can knock it in right now. A trap play, quick, and Tommy Close just got pounded down by Dave Alcier, the linebacker and offensive captain for the Norristown Eagles. That'll set up a 3rd down and 9 situation. It was a gain of 3. The ball is marked at the 29. They have to go to the 20 or just inside the 20 for the first down. Pennsbury Falcons against the Norristown Eagles. If you just tuned in, there's just 6 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the first half of a 0-0 game. Burkhead's going to put the ball up and wide open, and a nice hit and a nice run, though, by number 33, Rich Wilson. And they had the blitz on the play. Del Chavou blitzed and just missed getting a sack on Burkhead. But Cooley, Bo Burkhead, the senior quarterback, laid it out to the left flat to Rich Wilson. Wilson broke the tackle of Dwayne Jones and got the first down. Or excuse me, he did not get the first down. And it'll be 4th and a long one. And a timeout will be called by Pennsbury.
Talking about that last play, Rick Waldrop and Dave Elsher teamed up for that tackle. Number 22, Dwayne Jones, being the rookie out there, or just missing the season last year, doesn't have that experience to bring him down, maybe especially on this slippery terrain that we have out here.
Okay, timeout is by Pennsbury. 5 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the first half of a ball game. A misty, a rainy, kind of dreary October night. But the crowd has come to see Norristown High School football. And that's exactly what they've gotten so far. Norristown against Pennsbury, the first Suburban 1 Northern Division League game for both teams. Pennsbury is 2-1. Norristown, of course, undefeated at 3-0. And Pennsbury has the ball at the Norristown 21, call it the 22-yard line. 4th down and a long one, a short 2, we'll call it. Burkhead, the quarterback, Pennsbury. The backs are split behind him. The handoff, flags thrown everywhere, but a good, fine defensive play by number 33, Del Chavou. And there's a penalty again of Pennsbury. The ball was carried on that last play by Rich Wilson, number 33. Okay, offsides was called on Pennsbury. And it will negate because the whistles blew before the play was ended. The chains are being moved in here, and I do not know what's going on. I guess the penalty was against Pennsbury. Here's what happened. And the play goes, and they want to see Norristown, meaning Norristown, they want to see if they got the first down. They didn't. They declined the penalty, and it is 1st down and 10 for down as the Eagles take over on downs. And, Ben, that is the second time that Pennsbury has gone for it on 4th down and short and have come up short.
Yeah, that's a well-disciplined defense out there, headed by Coach Griffiths and I can't remember the other guy's name right now.
All right.
I'll get back on that.
Matt Weber is the quarterback for Norristown. 1st and 10. Inside handoff to Bello. Fumbles for a couple of yards. Don't keep it short and sweet. Don't go into stuff that you go blank on. And if you go blank, just shut up. Don't say I can't. Just don't say anything. Just cut yourself short. Second down and 6 yards to go for Norristown.
Hey, that clock's gotta stop.
All right, I got you.
How many seconds are off there?
I'll take care of it, don't worry.
How many seconds?
About 10.
I don't know.
I got it.
There was a problem with the clock, ladies and gentlemen. If you're wondering what the problem is, the problem was
20. 20.
the problem was that there was a timeout on the field, and the scorekeeper did not stop the clock, and approximately 15 to 20 seconds, Ben, went off the clock when they called a timeout, and the clock was not stopped. They have not put the minutes back on the clock.
Yeah, they haven't, but they're working on it right now.
It was 4 minutes and 34 seconds when they finally stopped the clock, but the timeout was called at a play 4:48 or 4:49. Whatever. There's 4 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the first half. Second man through is Denson, and look out, and Wayne Denson, and a great open field tackle by number 13, Dave Richman. It looked like Denson had the right side of the field there, and if he had gotten to the sidelines, he would have broken it. But Kitcherman came up from a safety position and made a nice open field tackle. And it looked like, Ben, that had a combination of things, and it looked Wayne Denson did not look like he was full speed with his injury. His bruised ankle may not be 100%. They also may have tried to make a cut on that wet field out there and just may have slipped a little bit, but in any event, it was a nice open field tackle by Kitcherman. Play action fake by Weber, and he's got the ball to the left side, and Matt Weber is brought down on a nice open field tackle again by number 13, Kitcherman. Dave Kitcherman, the 170-pound senior safety man. He's made two outstanding defensive plays in a row. First one, Wayne Denson carried the ball for the first down. Weber there on a nice first down run, made 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5. The ball is marked at the 46-yard line in Norristown. And the Eagles, with 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first half, are looking for a score before halftime. The quick trap to Buda. And Suber.
He looked like he tackled number 10 on that play. Number 10 being Bob Bertsoko. Nice name.
They get it up to midfield. Suber now coming out of the ball game. Pete Edwards coming in to replace him. Edwards and Suber are the ball players who bring in the plays for Coach Roger Grove in his 8th year at Norristown High School. It's 3rd down and a short 2 for Norristown. The backs are in the eye, and guess who's going to get the ball? Wayne Denson, number 2, trying to get outside, but he cannot, and he will not get the first down. Again, number 13, Kitcherman. Dave Kitcherman was there along with number 21, Brooks Estat. He'll set up a 4th down situation and less than a yard. And it'll be interesting to see if Norristown will go for it. They will, I imagine, will.
It's getting out there. We can see that the defense grabbed Denson's tail off and threw it back at him. That's enough to get anybody upset. I know Denson probably mad at himself. Now he's mad at the team. If he gets his ball back, we might see something.
They're going to measure it to see how long they have to go. They mark it at approximately 3 inches. Call it a half a foot. It is 4th down with just 2 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the first half of a 0-0 ball game. It's a wet, slippery night, and you got to believe that Coach Grove is going to go for it on 4th and inches.
But the man for this kind of play is Carmen Bell, the person who drags people. He literally dragged PW, Wilson last week, and even Kenrick. He dragged a couple of guys.
Good point, Ben, and they might go, or a good play would be to go to the big fullback, Carmen Bello, for the quick 4th down. Weber just may take it for a quarterback sneak. Oh. And that's going to hurt. That is definitely going to hurt. Mike Palladino, the right tackle, number 60, jumped, as did Lou Simpson, the tight end. Illegal procedure against Norristown, and it was just a situations where the line was anxious to jump off on the snap of the ball, and they were just too anxious. Illegal procedure against Norristown, cost them 5. It'll set up 4th down and 5, and they're not going to go for it, and it's going to be John Cabot in there to punt. Number 20, Brian Hickman, is back deep for Pennsbury. And Hickman's going to get it at about the 25-yard line. Hickman looks right, goes left, and he's got a hole there. And if he can get down the sidelines, tackle by number 11, Matt Weber, the quarterback. But number 20, Brian Hickman, a tailback and a second stringer, but he's made a nice move there, faked right, went left. Had a nice lane there, but it closed up quickly. Matt Weber, the quarterback, made a nice tackle, dragging him out of bounds. And they're going to mark it at the 41-yard line of Pennsbury. So with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first, we'll see the Pennsbury 2-minute offense right now. And by that, I mean Bo Berkwood just called 2 plays in the huddle. And they're going to have to hurry it up. And again, there was a movement on the line, and there's been movement all game long, and that was Rich Mitchell who jumped, the left defensive tackle for Norristown. But let's see if he was drawn off. I don't believe he was, because the line of scrimmage is right where we are. Let's take a look, and it is Rich Mitchell, number 70, jumped offside. And that's going to help you out, give you 5 yards. First down and 5. It also stops the clock. Burkhead. Tell you, when I played this game, the quarterback never really changed the play when the defense jumped offside so early. Let's see if Burkhead does it. But back when I played, we had leather helmets and all the rest.
Really? I'm the track man myself. I never got into the game.
All right, Bo Burkhead, quarterback for Pennsbury, lining him up, back shift to the eye. Play action, Burkhead going long, deep downfield, and it's overthrown. Intended for number 41, Bob Reichert, and number 23, Rick Waldrop, who had a punt return or kickoff return of some 75 yards for a touchdown last week, was back for the coverage.
He was looking to intercept that time, but it looked like it was too long for him or the number 41 to catch it.
As Ben alluded to earlier, it was a pass that was long, thrown by Bo Burkhead, the quarterback for Pennsbury. That stops the clock, though, with 1 minute and 33 seconds to go. It's second down and 5 now for Pennsbury. Wilson, and the man who's got the ball right now, number 30, Tom Hose with the football, and Hose gets a first down. And much, much more. The clock will stop to move the chains, and that's very important to remember in high school and college football, that when they have to move the chains, the clock stops. Pennsbury calls a timeout in any call to get the next play set down with 1 minute and 25 seconds to go. That sweep only took just 8 seconds. So with 1 minute and 25 seconds to go, Pennsbury now moving into Norristown territory. The ball will be marked at the 43-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 for Pennsbury.
That was a good tackle by number 33, Delbert Chavou, who was voted last week the Gilbert Best Defensive Player of the Week, which is a award given now to area high schools.
Okay, Del Chavou, of course, we all know. First team, Suburban 1 Northern Division linebacker selection. First team honors Del Chavou and his brother Greg Chavou. If you just joined us, joined us late. Greg Chavou is injured. We do not know the nature of his injury. We'll try to find out for you, but number 57, Greg Chavou, the brother of Del, is not in there. And he is sorely missed for the Norristown Eagles, both offensively and defensively. He is their offensive or defensive captain. Burkhead going straight back to throw. Puts it up long again. He's got Reichert right there, and a great catch. Was he in? No, he was not. He was out of bounds. The officials called him out. Reichert tried to drag his 1 foot, but a great catch. They did not allow it, but it was super concentration by number 41, Bob Reichert, the 6 foot, 180-pound senior. And it'll be second down and 10. Second down and 10 for Pennsbury. Number 82, Dan Cassidy, is in now for Pennsbury. Cassidy will be split wide to your right, the top of your screen. Reichert is to your left side. The draw play, and what is it now? Just been mistakes and more mistakes so far today. A very sloppily played first half of football. and it is illegal procedure against Pennsbury, and that's going to mark him back 5 yards. It'll set up a 2nd down and 15, and Ben, it looked like a good call there with Tommy Hose, who had 135 yards last week in their 27-7 win against PW. A draw play, and he had some running room, but there you see it there, illegal procedure. Put it back. The ball's now back to midfield, at the 49-yard line in Norristown. And in this 2-minute defense, Ben, I noticed that Greg Chavou is back in there. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That's Chris Augustine I was looking at. Number 57 instead of number 55. You can understand me making that mistake. The 7 so desperately looks like a number 5. That is tough to make that distinction. Okay, 2nd down and 15, and the whistle blows again. Now what's this going to be? I think the officials just want to make TV, folks. Illegal again on Pennsbury, and that marks him back 5 more yards. And you got to wonder how so many illegal procedures and offside penalties, why we're getting so many in the ball game.
The defensive captain, number 33, Double Chavou, was getting hand signals from the coaches, and he's telling them that the guy keep bringing his hand up before the ball is snapped. So that's why they keep calling that legal motion.
That's a good point, Ben. The center, once he grabs the ball in position, cannot move his hands. He cannot move that football once it is placed, or they call illegal procedure. Quick handoff to Rich Wilson, and Wilson gets back to almost the original line of scrimmage. They're hurrying up now with 1 minute and 4 seconds to go. Burkhead's trying to get him organized here. 57 seconds, 56, 55. The clock is still going, and there's an official timeout. Jaquise Rochette, number 35, the left defensive back for Norristown, is shaken up, and that is a blessing in disguise for Pennsbury. Rochette walking off the field. There you see him with his own power. So you see it's not a very serious injury. It doesn't appear to be, at least. So the officials now, with Rochette gone, will start the clock back up again. And number 4, Buddha Suber, has replaced Rochette in the defensive backfield for Norristown. Suber is the right defensive back. 37-36, the clock winding down in the first half. Not a very good 2-minute offense being run by Pennsbury. Burkett again going long. Nobody's there. Dwayne Jones was the closest one, but the rush was put on heavy by Chris Augustine and Roland.
It looked to me like it was another illegal procedure, and I heard the coach up here, Mr. Parentozzi, shouted out too. You know, they look like they stall and then they go, and that's what probably got them the first couple of times. They move their hands, and they're not supposed to do that.
Once you are down on that 3-point stance, you cannot go up. You see the guys in the pros do a lot of movement, but they have not put their hands down on the ground in their 3-point stance. Once they do that, they cannot lift their hands back up, or it is an illegal procedure penalty. And on 4th down and 10 with 25 seconds to go, Pennsbury will punt it to either Rick Waldrop or John Cabot, the 2 safeties for Norristown. The punt is shanked to the right side. They're going to let it bounce. It's going to catch the corner at about the 8-yard line. So with 17 seconds to go, not that Norristown had any thoughts of going the length of the field to try to score before the half ended, but any thoughts must be squelched with the ball marked at inside the 10. Actually, it will be marked at the 7-yard line. Nice coffin corner kick by number 53, and that was Darryl Moyle, the senior punter for Pennsbury. And that was a nice punt, and ever since I made fun of his technique in his first punt, he's come up with 2 good ones. So what does this announcer know? Nobody knows. Weber on a quick quarterback sneak right up the middle will be short of the first down by about a yard. But it doesn't really matter. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. They're just running out the clock now. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And the first half is history. At Roosevelt Field in Norristown, and the Norristown Eagles and the Pennsbury Falcons, opening up the Suburban 1 season for both teams. And it is a pitcher's duel, ladies and gentlemen. At halftime, the Norristown Eagles 0, the Pennsbury Falcons. We will be back with our halftime show right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Roosevelt Field here in Norristown, Pennsylvania. The Norristown Eagles opening up their Suburban 1 regular season schedule against the Pennsbury Falcons tonight. And it is 0-0. We're at halftime here at Roosevelt Field. My name is Eddie Morgan. My usual partner for this evening is Alan Raleigh, but like I said in the beginning of the show, Alan is feeling a little bit under the weather. At least that's what he told me from his postcard from Florida. So I'm going to be going solo. I got Ben Walters back in the booth there for the second half. 0-0. It's a tough defensive struggle. The weather's got a lot to do with it. And also taking a look at, first of all, Wayne Denson. Denson has been running tentative. It looks like his ankle is bothering him, and plus the field conditions have been difficult for him to get his footing, and so it has been tough going for Wayne Denson so far in the first half. It has been tough for Norristown. They've been making too many penalties, too many mistakes, too many turnovers, and the same thing goes for Pennsbury. Pennsbury's defense is doing a good job shutting down the run for Norristown, but they are not, when they have to go in the air themselves on offense, they are not passing the ball well. They're running it effectively between the 20s, but when they get deep down into the Norristown end of the field, they stall, and they either have to punt it or go for it on fourth down, and they don't get it. The key to this game is to who can keep their footing, who can get the running game going at full strength, and who can jump out first. The team that jumps out first, I think, is going to be the winner tonight, and it should be a very, very exciting second half of football. Ben Walters and myself, Eddie Morgan, will be back with second half action right after this. Giuseppe Palace in Bridgeport. I'm in trouble. Raleigh, in all seriousness, is feeling a little bit under the weather. And, well, I'm here with Ben Walters, and I hope Alan is feeling a lot better. Our next videotaped game will be against Ben Salem the next time we're back here at Roosevelt Field, October the 21st. Will be the game date. You checked your local listings to find out when and what time the game will be played in your area. Okay, it's 0-0, and when it's 0-0, folks, you got to make stupid stuff up to say. We have 24 more minutes to go for football, and Ben, as the teams get ready to kick the ball off, Norristown will be kicking, then we'll be going right to left. Pennsbury will be going left to right, and Norristown will be receiving the football, going right to left. Wayne Denson and Buddha Suber right there. Number 2 is Denson, and number 4 is Buddha Suber. They will be back for Norristown. And it's been a pitcher's duel, like I said in the beginning. Both teams finding trouble with penalties and also field position and the conditions of the field. It's a wet, rainy night here in Norristown, and the quality of play has shown that. Norristown, of course, scoring 100 points and having over 1,000 yards of total offense so far this year, being 3-0. Have not shown offensive firepower. But like I said, we got 24 more minutes of football, and the kickoff is going to one of the up men, and that is John Cabot. Cabot in the middle of the field trying to go outside. There was a block, and it's going to be called a clip. Cabot is pushed out of bounds at the 35. And Roland Carbone, number 61, was called with the clip. Returned by Cabot, and they're the officials there, and they're going to mark it off. Cabot was in the middle of the field, tried to lure the players in that way, and then tried to shoot back out to the left side. And as he tried to go to the left side, Carbone came back on a crackback and tried to block, help him out there, but he clipped him, and the ball is marked back inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. So Norristown is in a hole to start the second half. And, Ben, that's not a very impressive way to start it out.
No, it isn't. Here we go.
Okay, Weber hands the ball off to Carmen Bello, and there's just no place to go. Bello is put down by number 61, and that is Jeff Zelt. Jeff Zelt is the linebacker, 5'11", 175-pound senior for Pennsbury. Second down and 10. Norristown with the ball at their own 12-yard line. Bello gained nothing on the first down run. Little pop pass up the middle and Simpson is hit, and the ball is intercepted by Chamira. What a great play. It was a heads-up play. Matt Weber used that play so successfully against Wilson last week. And Lou Simpson is down on the ground. And Simpson is hurt. There he is, right there in the middle of your screen. Simpson, the big tight end, 6'6". It was a quick pop pass over the middle. Weber hit him. The ball hit him right in the hands. But number 13, Dave Kitcherman, made a great hit. And Simpson lost the ball. And number 51, the linebacker, Chip Chamira. Number 51 made an excellent defensive play, caught the interception on the rebound, and Lou Simpson is not getting up. Now he does. Lou just got his wind knocked out of him there for a second. Runs off his own power. He looks a little wobbly on the sidelines. But in any event, the ball is marked at the 29-yard line, and again, Pennsbury has a chance here deep in Norristown territory. They did not convert in the first half. Let's see what they can do in the second half. Wilson and Hose with the sweep left. Flag being thrown by the back judge. And let's see what it's going to be. And there's just been penalty flags being thrown down. And number 77, Theron Ellis, right there in the middle of your screen, is down. and the coaches and trainers come out for Norristown. The young sophomore looks to be in some pain.
Yeah, this chilly weather is not good for football. Well, it's good for football, but it's not good for young players because they get out here and they try to do more than they can do in this little bit of time. You know, Theron's a sophomore, and he looked like he took a pretty good hit that time. He had his head a little low, and they hit him. Even on that last play with number 89, Lou Simpson, he was going out after the ball a little bit timidly, and he got hit and they knocked him. They rocked him. So here we go. Well, Theron's still on the field.
Okay, Ellis is still down.
I'm going off. I'm going off.
Theron Ellis is down. And we had a penalty on that play. You're wondering why the ball was moved back. It was a holding penalty against Norristown, or excuse me, against Pennsbury. That'll set up 1st down and 20. It negates the run by Hose. And there you see Theron Ellis walking off the field. And Norristown is really physically taking a battering here tonight. Pennsbury has come to play. They are 2-1 in the regular season. Of course, for both teams, opening up the season for conference play, and that's the National Conference and Suburban 1 League. Pennsbury 2-1, of course. Norristown 3-0. And my God, there's a penalty flag again. The play will not go. The pass is caught, and a great catch, but it won't go. I believe that is number 82, and it is, and that's Dan Cassidy. But it will be negated by an illegal procedure call. Referee. And it's almost funny after a while, I'm sure, not to Coach Roger Grove of Norristown or to Pennsbury's coach, but they just keep going backwards and backwards. The illegal procedure penalty called on Pennsbury, and it was called on number 86, or excuse me, number 8, Lance Hoyer, offensive end who was in motion and started towards the line a little bit too early. So call it 1st down and a half a mile. Pennsbury's got 25 yards to go, a draw play to Hose, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Gang tackled there by Chavou and Alcier and a couple of others. Theron Ellis, by the way, is still on the bench with the injury, but just as I say that, he's back in it. Number 44 was Paul Pearson, who replaced him, but Ellis is back into the ballgame. 2nd down and 25 yards to go now for Pennsbury. That ground game run by Tommy Hose gained nothing. Play action fake. The pass is thrown out to the right flat by Burkhead. Pass was intended for number 41, Bob Reichard. And again, there was a flag amongst a whole host against Pennsbury tonight, and that's really what has been killing them so far tonight against Norristown. 2nd man through is Tommy Hose, cutting back upfield. Gang tackle of Dwayne Jones, Ricky Waldrop there. Rachette also, number 35, was on the tackle. Number 30 is Tom Hose, the 5'8", 155-pound senior. And that'll set up a 4th down, and let's call it I don't know what we'll call it. Let's call it 4th down and 16 yards to go. 4th and 13, excuse me. Ricky Waldrop and John Cabot back deep for Norristown. The punt is a good one. They're going to let it bounce. No, Cabot catches it. Unbelievably, John Cabot catches the ball at the 2-yard line. We'll call it the 3. No, I'm sorry. He was in the... It's a touchback. He was in the end zone. Why John Cabot caught that ball, I do not know. When the ball is that close to the end zone, you let it bounce and let it go into the end zone on its own power. But Cabot caught it. He knew he was in the end zone. So in that regard, I guess it was a good play if you know you're in the end zone. But a good rule of thumb is to get out of the way when the ball is bounding around, the punt is bounding around near your own end zone. Get out of the way and take the touchback. Don't do any heroics. First down and 10 for Norristown. The backs in I formation. Denson the tailback, Bello the fullback. Buda Suber in motion. Handoff off tackle is to Denson, and a great open field tackle is made by number 76, and that is Tom Lucas, the first time we've called his name. And Tom is obviously a Mark Gastineau fan, because the next time you'll see Tom make a tackle, he'll get up and do a little dance a la Mark. That's going to set up a second down and 12. Wayne Denson lost 2 yards, and I've been saying it all game long. Denson's game with 525 yards in just 3 ball games, and also 9 touchdowns. Has not been very impressive so far today. Inside trap to Buda Suber, and he breaks a couple of tackles trying to get outside, but he cannot get away from Bart Zarko, number 10 out there in the left flat. And Buda broke a couple of tackles inside, but when he tried to bounce outside, he could not get his yardage. And that'll third down and 12. Buda did not get any yards at all on that. Suber coming out, Dave Elsier coming back into the ballgame with the play from the line of scrimmage.
And he was running to Greg Chevreux's side, but Greg isn't there this evening to block for him. So, you know, that can't open those big holes without your main man.
Okay. Weber on 3rd and 12, draw play to Denson, and what a great open field tackle. Number 13, and I've been calling that number out a lot in the first half, Dave Kitcherman. Great defensive play by Dave Kitcherman, and he's made a couple of fine open field tackles on Wayne Denson, and that is not an easy thing to do. Dave Kitcherman, number 13 for Pennsbury, 6 foot, 175-pound senior. And Kitcherman is back with Brian Hickman, number 20, awaiting the punt of number 10, John Norristown. Cabot gets a slightly high snap, but boots it a nice spiral punt. That's a great punt. They're going to let it bounce, and it's going to take a Norristown bounce. And it is down by Matt Weber, the quarterback, inside the 30. They're going to mark it at the 29-yard line. And that was one heck of a punt by John Cabot. It was a beautiful spiral, and it bounced. It took a great eagle bounce. And now Pennsbury will start their offensive plays at their own 29-yard line with 6 minutes and 24 seconds to go in the third quarter. The score still 0-0. Norristown against Pennsbury at Roosevelt Field in Norristown. I'm Eddie Morgan, along with Ben Walters Jr. Alan Raleigh, as I said, I mentioned before, a little under the weather. He'll be back our next televised broadcast. The sweep left is to Hose, number 30. Hose is drugged down at about the 38-yard line. Nice tackle there by Del Chavou, and also Jacques Frechette was in on the play. It'll set down a second down and 2 yards to go. Nice first down play by the Pennsbury Falcons.
Hose has been getting the call all night, and he's running to that left side there, and it looks like it. Well, if he can ever break free, they might score, but Norristown seems to be holding them.
The handoff on that veer offense was to Rich Wilson, number 33, and he got the first down. 1st and 10 for Pennsbury. And we've alluded to the fact that Del Chavou's brother, Greg Chavou, is not in. Number 55, the senior captain, co-captain of Norristown, is not in defensively or offensively. He is not playing tonight. He is not dressed. He is in street clothes on the sidelines. Bill Angelucci, number 78, is taking his place on defense. And he's Hose one more time, following his blockers well, and a great open field tackle by Del Chavou, Greg's brother. And I've really noticed that in my experiences now covering Norristown football, that Del Chavou really comes up. He's a small, compact ball player. He's 5'9", 180 pounds, and I've made the comment before that I have a feeling that young man is going to make someone a great, strong safety in a Division I college next year. He has good skills, very quick, and he's a hard-nosed young man, and he's a good tackler at that linebacker position. Here comes Hose one more time, and he's got an opening, and he's still on his feet. John Cabot finally wrestles him down across the 50, and they'll mark it at the 40 in Norristown, call it the 39. First down and 10 for Pennsbury, and Tom Hose has been close to breaking one open all game long, and he almost did it that time.
Yeah, I mentioned that before. If he can just get away. But Delbert Chavou was in there. At least he slowed him down. That brought in
John Cabot.
John Cabot, and they finally got the tackle. Gang Cabot.
Okay, here comes, guess what? Tommy Hose one more time. Inside the 39 to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 4 yards. It'll be second down and 6. Number 73, Joe Trump, big number 73, Joe Trump. Now coming in there for Norristown, and the big guy's taking over for Bill Angelucci, who is taking over for Greg Chavou. Apparently, they're running at Bill Angelucci, who is taking over for Greg Chavou. There's an official's timeout in the field, and as I complete my thought, they've been running to Angelucci's side, and they've brought in Joe Trump, the big 240-pound right offensive tackle, to play defense. And maybe that extra size will discourage Pennsbury to going to that right side of the Norristown defensive line. That remains to be seen. But Del Chavou has had to make a lot of tackles over at that side of the field. Linebackers and defensive backs are making a majority of the tackles. That shows you that the offense is doing a fine job in getting their backs sprung into the secondary. There's 3 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the third quarter. Still nothing. Pennsbury again driving and again using the ground attack. Quarterback Bo Burkhead has only completed one pass tonight. Most of it has been through the Pennsbury. Second man through is again Tommy Hose. Hose gets good second down yardage. He does not get the first down, but he is about 3 yards short. It'll be third down and 3.
Did we see Jaquish Rochette, but right behind him, number 33, Delbert Chavou.
All right. Third down and 4, call it. Power eye right. There goes Tom Hose, and he will be close. He will be close to the first down. I do not believe he has it. He went again over to that right side of the defensive alignment there, Norristown. That's usually Greg Chavou's spot. Chavou again is not in. And they are running to that side, and it'll be fourth down and 1 yard to go. And again on fourth down, so close, so far into the Norristown end of the field, Pennsbury's going to go for it. Power. Handoff is to Hose. And did he get it? Let's take a look. Norristown says no. Ricky Waldrop and Dwayne Jones say no. But we shall let the officials make the official call. Say that 3 times fast. At the bottom of that pile is number 30. And the crowd will tell you that Pennsbury did not make it. So with 2 minutes and 17 to go in the third quarter, Norristown holds one more time, and the Eagles will get the ball back.
I think now is the time for Eagles to get going and score, to get those points up on the board, because this is the time. Both teams are feeling the reflex of the game with 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Everybody's feeling tired and worn out now. If Norristown could score, it'll be a turning point in the game.
Okay. Let's see what they do. Pitch left to Denson. Wayne Denson again being hounded. Number 76 again was Tom Lucas, along with number 21 Brooks Estat, teaming up to stop Wayne Denson. And again, Denson did not get back to the line of scrimmage. It is second down and 11. Ball is marked at the 29-yard line, and Norristown has been having this problem all game long. They are not a good air team. Matt Weaver, coming into this game, has completed just 38% of his passes. They rely on the running attack, and the handoff to Bello, and that play was just messed up from the word get-go. Wayne Denson never left his tailback spot. It was a mixed-up play. It was a quick handoff to Carmen Bello. Bello just never had a chance, and he got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. 1 minute to go in the third quarter, and it sets up a 3rd down and 12 situation for Norristown High School. They are not used to these kinds of situations. They have not been able to break this tough defense of Pennsbury. Play action fake to Denson. Weber puts it right on the money to Pete Edwards. Nice catch by Edwards, number 87. The split end who was split wide right. And Weber just bulleted in between a couple of defenders from Pennsbury. And number 15, John Tabek, was in on the tackle for Edwards, and that was a beautifully thrown pass by Weber because he had to split the seam.
Going back a couple years, it looked like a Steve Bono Smith combination, where a couple years ago Norristown went 7-3 by just doing that in every game.
All right, Matt Weber to Pete Edwards. The ball is marked at their own 45-yard line. A fumble at the snap, and did Weber fall back on it? Let's take a look. I believe Norristown will have possession of the ball one more time, and they do. Weber fell back on the ball, but he lost a down and he lost a yard. It's 2nd down and 11. The ball is marked at the 44-yard line of Norristown, and just when they make a nice play there, they fumble the snap, and it takes away all the momentum that they had after that play. And at the end of the third quarter, we have still a 0-0 ball game in this first league game for both teams, Pennsbury and Norristown, the league being Suburban 1 Northern Division. And the Norristown Eagles are finding they're going rather rough tonight against the Pennsbury Falcons. Again, the score at the end of the third quarter, Norristown 0, Pennsbury 0. Will switch sides and go into the fourth quarter, just 12 more minutes to go. And Norristown really have to start moving the ball downfield with some consistency. The running game has not been consistent. Their passing game, of course, has not been consistent, and has been inconsistent all year. They have to come through, and of course their big clutch, their bread and butter is number 2, Wayne Denson. Oh, 2nd down and 10. Weber slipped a little bit. He puts it up, and Buda Suber's open, but he overthrows him, doesn't complete the pass. And Matt Weber is very disappointed in himself. Suber was wide open there, and that, Ben, it looked like a pump and go, meaning Suber went on the down and out. Weber pumped it to him, and then he broke long, meaning Suber. Weber laid it out for him, but he laid it out a bit too much. Buda could not run under it, and it's now 3rd down and 11. The ball at the 44-yard line of Norristown.
We have now we have number 10, John Cabot, into play.
Cabot was split wide left. Weber now with time throws it out the right flat. Oh, and it was almost intercepted by number 21, Brooks Ested. It was right in his hands, and he dropped the ball, and it's going to be 4th down. And just does not look like an undefeated power that they are. They are looking very unorganized and very unprepared for this football game tonight. It'll set up a punting situation again for John Cabot, number 10. Brian Hickman back deep for Pennsbury. Another nice punt by Cabot. And Ested's got it, number 21, and a nice open field tackle. Matt Weber with help from number 58, Andy Ward, who snapped the ball. The ball is marked at the 25-yard line, so it'll be Pennsbury's ball back again. The ball at the 25-yard line, and I feel like I'm watching a very slow tennis match so far tonight. Going back and forth, long volley after long volley, and there's been no smashes and no winning points so far in this ball game. With 11 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this ball game, Pennsbury 0, Norristown 0. The Falcons with the ball. Backs are in the eye. There's the pitch left to Hose. Tommy Hose slipped a little bit. Cut back, trying to cut back. He was hit down there first, but Rich Mitchell was there also, and Dave Elsier finished him off. So it'll be 2nd down, and let's call it 2nd down and 8 yards to go. There's a pickup of 2 by Tommy Hose.
Norristown defense is out there now, and they're, like I mentioned before in the top of the show, that Norristown is the kind of team that has to get excited and get pumped to get things going. And now the defense is in. They should, if they get a nice for something, they should be able to do something.
Play action fake and a beautiful play by Burkhead, but he overthrew his intended receiver, Rich Wilson. Nice play action fake by Burkhead, but he could not hit Wilson. It was unfortunate because he was there, if you're a Pennsbury fan. And that'll set down a 3rd down and 8 to go. The Pennsbury Falcons. Bo Burkhead, the quarterback. Burkhead on a draw play to Hose, and Dave Elsier, the linebacker, stuck his nose into the tailback. Number 30, Tom Hose. Hose was stopped, and that'll set up a 4th down and 8 yards to go. The ball marked at the same it was 2 plays ago, and that's the 26-yard line, 27, excuse me. Number 33, Darryl Moyle, is in the punt. Number 53, excuse me. Cabot and Waldrop back deep for Norristown. And Cabot's going to field it, and a great open field tackle by number 82, Dan Cassidy.
It looked like on the play, Rich Waldrop didn't even block for him. He even tried, maybe because they're a little timid about that last clipping. They're watching out of what they're doing on special teams.
All right. So Norristown, it's 3 yards, a cloud of dust, and get the punter in so far tonight, folks. And if you think it's boring for you, imagine how I feel. I'm standing. Matt Weaver is the quarterback. Carmen Bello the fullback, and he gets it quick inside handoff. The stop was made by number 52, Tom Hovenmeyer, and number 51, Chip Chimera, who has an interception so far tonight. As a matter of fact, Chip Chimera, the linebacker for Pennsbury, is the leading receiver for Pennsbury tonight, and that should tell you exactly what kind of ball game we've had so far tonight. Backs are in the eye. Elsier is in motion, and this is Wayne Dowson following Elsier. Nice open field tackle there by number 20, Brian Hickman, the left defensive back. Holds Denson to a gain of just 2 yards. And that'll set up a 3rd down and 5 yards to go. With 8 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the ball game, neither team has been able to amount an offensive thrust. Hence the scoreless game. Both defenses should be credited for playing very good defense, but also we should point out it's a wet game, it's a wet field, it's a wet night, and that has with it. But there's been a lot of mental errors, a lot of poor penalties, a lot of poor tackling, a lot of poor catching. Weaver puts the ball up, and the ball was knocked away by Hickman, number 20, Brian Hickman. Lou Simpson was there, the tight end, and the penalty is going to be against Norristown. And Ben, I didn't catch the infraction.
It looked like it was a league of motion in the backfield.
That's exactly what it was. Pennsbury will decline the penalty and make it 4th down. And Johnny Cabot will come in, number 10, to punt the ball away. Cabot, 3 steps, punts it. Ested with the ball, he fumbles it, picks it back up, makes a move to the outside, breaks away, and look out! Look out! There goes Ested, breaks another tackle, gets hit by Cabot, still on his feet, and finally is dragged down inside the 15, and we're talking about close to the 10. Brooks Ested made the play, and so many times, and you've seen it so many times happen, the punt returner dropped the ball and then pick it up, change his direction, and by that time he just sprints past the defenders. And that little hesitation, I've seen it many times, Ben, when you drop the ball.
Now back in, they actually sprinted across the field. It looks like they're ready to get in there and try to get the ball back. See, Norristown is like that. That was a good run back by their Pennsbury. They by him dropping the ball, it made the other team hesitate. Their mind went right on offense, and they said pick up the ball, and that's when it was, and threw Norristown off, and he got that nice run back.
was a 60-yard punt return by Brooks Ested. Number 21 is looking bumped. There was a loss there on the play. It'll be second down and a whole lot. Second down, and let's call it 17 yards to go now. Second and 18, excuse me. You saw just made the signal. That's 5 free yards now for Norristown. And Denson, who did not make the first down on that pass reception, it was 3rd down and 2. Well, they just got the first down courtesy of the offsides of Pennsbury. And it'll be 1st down and 10. The nose of the football squarely on the 30-yard line. The Norristown Eagles and their great tailback Wayne Denson right there. Left, Suber in motion left, Weber rolling left. He's got Denson there again, and Wayne made a great catch, but he lost the ball. He dropped the ball. No fumble, he just dropped it. Not a great pass by Matt Weber, not even a good one, and Denson tried to make a great catch, but he couldn't hang on. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
I hope Denson's not getting back into the pattern he had last year. Last year, in a couple key situations, he was fumbling the ball. This year, he seems like he got his mind set, but he's going to hold on the ball, but that pass looked like a flashback of last year.
It was a Clark, my partner tonight is Alan Raleigh. He is not here tonight. Feeling a little sick, left him home with his live-in nurses. Well, we'll get to that a little later. We have a reverse to Buddha Suber. Suber's there. Made a nice cut to the outside, and goodbye, Buddha Suber. Touchdown, Norristown. And it was a great play. Wayne Denson. It was a delayed reverse play. The handoff to Denson gave it back on the inside to Buddha Suber, and there was nobody there containing. He had to make just one small juke move to the outside, and we have 6 points, Norristown.
Yes, we do. See, we have Norristown. They have 3 key running backs now. Buddha Suber, Wayne Denson, and Carmen Bell. Each of them has the opportunity to score in any given play, and that was one of them.
All right, Buddha Suber. The extra point is good. And Norristown, with 5 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the football game, has jumped out in front. 7-0. Pennsbury, obviously, very disgruntled at this point. But we're going to see the makeup right now of the 1983 Pennsbury Falcons Football Club and see how well they handle this kind of adversity. There is not too much time left. They've been able to move the ball fairly well between the 20s, but when there's a turnover or they move inside the 20-yard line for Norristown, they've had cheap penalties, bad timing on plays, and they have not been able to put any points on the scoreboard. Norristown, however, took advantage of a Ricky Waldrop INT, and they scored the touchdown in a beautiful 32-yard reverse play by Buddha Suber.
Norristown just had one of their on-field huddles with their defensive captain. He got in there. He must have told him, their defensive coach, he told him to get psyched, get pumped, get the ball back. And this is a play that there should be something special about this. I don't know. They probably kicked the ball with 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes and 21 seconds to go. They'll kick the ball to him, get the ball back. It's the main thing they're talking about.
All right. We shall see what we shall see. Buddha Suber, Royce Buddha Suber. Number 4. Johnny Cabot's kickoff, his short one. It's going to be taken up by one of the upbacks. That's Reichard, Robbie Reichard, number 41, and he's thrown down by Theron Ellis, number 77. Got back up to the 39-yard line, so it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Pennsbury Falcons. And Norristown now, as they run off the field, have the luxury of a 7-point lead, but you never know. And a 7-point lead is not a big luxury, but in this game, it is a luxury nonetheless. With 5 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the football game, we'll see what Pennsbury's offense can do behind Bo Burkhead, the 105-pound senior. Burkhead right flat, he's open, and he just dropped the ball. It was number 82, Danny Cassidy. Cassidy was there. It was a catchable pass, not easy. but he had it in his hands and he dropped it. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Jaquise Rochette was there on the play. He didn't even have to touch him. He must have talked him out of the play. That's what they say in the pros. He heard footsteps.
Whatever the reason was, Bo Burkhead was not happy with the pass reception skills on that play, at least, by Dan Cassidy. Down and 10. Slot left. Backs are in the eye. Draw play. And they telegraphed it a mile away. The handoff was to Hose, I believe, number 30. They telegraphed the draw a mile away, and they lost a yard, and it's 3rd down and 11. And this, as much as any play in the ball game, is maybe the key play, offensively speaking, for Pennsbury. 3rd down and 11. They're down by 7 points, minutes to go in the game. And when Norristown gets you down, they keep you down, and you got to go back at them. Burkhead straight back to throw. He's under plenty of pressure, and he's got Cassidy open, and this time, Danny Cassidy holds on to the ball inside Norristown territory. Tackle was made by Waldrop, and Rochette was also there. The ball's going to be marked at the 47-yard line. It's enough for the 1st down, and it was a nice, Bennett was a nice pass reception. Knew exactly where he had to go for the 1st.
That's right. Not to talk down Norristown defense, but Jaquise Rochette didn't play his man tight enough. He saw him coming across, but he didn't really touch him. He didn't stay with him as close as he should. And that's what happened to him against Kenrick, and they got all their short passes in there.
Okay, sweep right is the Hose. He's got some running room, cuts it back inside, goes back out. But a tough hit put on him by Dwayne Jones. And Tommy Hose is not getting up. Tom Hose looks hurt. Number 30, the running back. The officials call a timeout. Hose is coming out. He just got the wind knocked out of him. Rich Mitchell with the tackle. And we'll have a 2nd down and 4 yards to go for Pennsbury. Play action fake and a good one. And he throws for Cassidy. He's not there. Bo Burkhead, his pass was to Cassidy on the left side. He was there, but the pass wasn't. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
When you look at Norristown defense now, Jaquise was on this side. Now they switched up. John Cabot's on this side because they're throwing there. John Cabot's a better a pass rusher, and he's been more experienced than Jaquise, and now that's why the difference of that last play. All
right. Inside handoff to Rich Wilson, and he was just popped right inside there. Augustine was there for the around the ankles hit, but around the head hit was Dave Elsier. He pounded him. It'll set out a 4th down and short, and Pennsbury's going to need a timeout with 3 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the game. Excuse me. Quarterback Bo Burkhead wants to go talk to his coach. In case you just joined us, 3 minutes and 5 seconds to go in this football game. Norristown leading 7-0 here at Roosevelt Field against Pennsbury. Both teams opening up their Suburban 1 Northern Division League schedule tonight. Norristown 3-0 against non-conference teams. Pennsbury just a game behind them at 2-1. But this is what count the Northern Division. And when they start looking at rankings at the end of the year, it is the rankings inside your conference which tells who is the conference champions. Okay, the timeout is over. Excuse me, it is the National Division. I'm sorry, I've been calling it the Northern Division. It is the National Division. I knew that. I was just testing Ben Walters here. Okay, it's 4th down and 3. Wilson going to the right side. He fumbled the football. He didn't get the 1st down anyway. And it's Norristown football. On downs, Rich Wilson, the fullback for Pennsbury, burrowed to the right side, trying for the 1st down. Lost the football, and when he did that, he lost the 1st down. It went out of bounds, but it doesn't matter. On downs, it's Norristown's football. And with 2 minutes and 54 seconds, it's a perfect opportunity for the Eagles to run out the clock. And the difference in this ball game, Rick Waldrop with the interception, ran it back some 40, and the 32-yard touchdown scramble on the delayed reverse play. Wayne Denson, or Matt Weber to Wayne Denson to Buda Suber, 32 yards for the touch. And this is Bello burying his way into the Pennsbury defense. Kitcheman was there, number 13, as well as number 61, Jeff Zeet. Clock still moving, 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the football game. Norristown clinging to a 7-0 lead. Okay, Pete Edwards coming out split wide to the right, the bottom of your screen. And Bello is in motion, and what are they going to call? Carmen Bello started out before anybody did, and those are the kind of mistakes that have been hurting both teams today. It's been a slot. What are they going to call? It's offsides against Pennsbury, and that was, I was going to say it, but I wasn't sure, so I waited till the official said it. It was a good play by Bello. He started off count. He started to do the play before the others did. He screwed up on the snap count, but wisely, Carmen Bello, to his credit, just pretended like he was going in motion. And you can do that when you're a fullback. You can go in motion like that, and that drew off the pen. Great play by Bello. He messed up on the snap count, started before everybody else did, but he pretended like he was going in motion, and that drew off Pennsbury. Nice play by Carmen Bello. Heads up, very smart. Gives him 5 yards. Be second down and 5. And there's a fumble, and who's going to get the ball? With 1 minute and 31 seconds to go, who's going to get the ball? Pennsbury says they have it. The officials say the fight. And here comes the defense for Norristown back onto the field. And it was Matt Weber, the quarterback, who fumbled the football. And with 1 minute and 22 seconds to go in the game, here comes Pennsbury. They still have a chance to tie or go ahead. Slot left. Quarterback going back to throw. He throws it. A great catch by number 86. And we do not have a number 86 on our roster. But the clock stops momentarily to allow the chains to move, and it gives Burkhead a chance to call another play. With 1 minute and 3 seconds, the clock starts back up again. Inside 1 minute to go now. The ball is marked at the 30-yard line. Burkhead now straight back to throw. He lofts it up there. Cassidy's there, but so is Dwayne Jones. Jones knocked it away. Set up a second down and 10 with 50 seconds to go. And Pennsbury, it is not over. Pennsbury is within striking distance, but they'll have to put it up in the air, and they have not had success putting the ball up in the air all night long. But they will have to do it now in order to pull out this ball game. 50 seconds to go. Norristown leading 7-0. Pennsbury in Norristown territory at the 30-yard line. Bo Burkhead straight back to throw. They set up the screen, and they don't do it. It was set up for Rich Wilson. And in there quickly was Theron Ellis. And Theron, who's 6'3" tall and 185 pounds, when he puts his arms up, that's a formidable opposition when you're a quarterback trying to set up the screen pass left. And Burkhead, who is 6'4", actually, set up to Rich Wilson, but he just did not find Wilson, so it'll be now 3rd down and 10. The ball marked again at the 30-yard line of Norristown. Burkhead straight back to throw. Down the middle, and he had his man open, and that was Dan Cassidy, number 82. He had split the zone between Richette and Dwayne Jones. Jones had gone long to cover the deep pass. Open, and it'll set up a 4th and 10, and Ben, this is it.
This is it. If Norristown can control the ball, when they get it back, it's easy victory. I mean, Norristown defense can keep them keep control of Pennsbury, it's an easy victory.
All right. Here we go. It is 4th down and 10 yards to go. The pass is up and it's incomplete, and the ball game is over. And Bill Angelucci, number 78, put the pressure on quarterback Bo Burkhead. Burkhead threw the incompletion, and on downs, Norristown will take over the football with 36 seconds to go in the football game. And Ben, I believe it's time for a celebration if you're a Norristown fan.
You're correct. And this brings us to picking in the offense and defensive player of the games. Who's your pick?
Well, you probably should be. And why Pennsbury called a timeout right now, I have no idea. They let 15, 20 seconds go off the clock before they decided to call a timeout. And Alan and I have talked about it many times. If you're going to stop the clock, stop it. But if you're going to let it run out, let it run out. But Pennsbury calls a timeout, and it's their prerogative. What keeps me on my feet for a couple more minutes longer. I have to appreciate that. And look now, while we have a chance at Norristown's schedule. Their next game is an away game, Saturday, October the 8th against Truman. The next time we will be on the air with tape delay on the Access Channel, Norristown Area School District's Access Channel, will be for the October 28th game, or excuse me, October 21st game against Ben Salem. It will be here again at Roosevelt Field. That's the next home game, October 21st against Ben Salem at 7:30. October. Weber falls down on the ground. That's going to be the last play of the ball game with 13 seconds to go. And just as I say that, Ben Salem, excuse me, I'm thinking about Ben Salem already. Pennsbury score. I'll get this right. Pennsbury calls their last timeout. They stop the clock with just 13 seconds to go. It was a sloppily played game on a sloppy field. It was a wet track. And both Norristown and Pennsbury run the ball well. They did not throw the ball well. Offensively, it was not a good showing for either team. Defensively, they were aided by the cold, wet conditions on the field. They were also aided by the ineptitude of, to lack of a better word, for both offenses. A lot of illegal procedure penalties, a lot of offside penalties, a lot of clipping, holding, you name it, we've had it. A lot of penalties in general. Not a very well-played game at all. Just Brutus Suber's 32-yard reverse play. And it was a nice run indeed. Made it 7-0, and that's the score we have with 6 seconds, 5 seconds. And this time it will be the last play of the game. And that is it. From Roosevelt Field in Norristown, Pennsylvania, the Norristown Eagles win their 4th game of the season, their first game in the National Conference of the Suburban 1 League. Again, the final score, Norristown 7, the Pennsbury Falcons 0. The second shutout, I should say, for Norristown. And I, Eddie Morgan, will be back with our post-game wrap-up right after this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the game is over, and Norristown stays undefeated. The final score was 7-0 against Pennsbury. And the real story of the game was it was sloppily played. It was a sloppy field, a wet track, raining. It was a cold night. A lot of mistakes, both offensively, defensively, as far as the penalties are concerned. And both teams, I would imagine, Pennsbury and Norristown, even though they won, are not real proud of this ball game tonight. My name is Eddie Morgan, and my partner, Alan Raleigh, has brought you Norristown High School football on this channel for 4 years. He's a little bit under the weather. I guess I should have stayed home, too. It's rather cold out here. It's still raining out here. But Norristown's next game on the Norris District Access Channel will be for the game played October the 21st. It'll be their next home game against Ben Salem, and that is, of course, here at Roosevelt Field at 7:30 a Friday night. But the story of this game, again, the final score, Norristown 7, Pennsbury 0. Both teams opening up their national division of the Suburban 1 League. Norristown opening up with a win, Pennsbury opening up with a loss. Again, for my camera people, Dave, and also Andre, and my absent partner, Holly, and for Ben Walters, who helped me out in the booth today, I'm Eddie Morgan saying so long, everybody, and we'll see you back again with Norristown High School football. Good night.